Hey guys, Fox here. It's time for a top 10, and I'm going to do top 10 RPGs for the PS4. Now, first things first, this is my list. It may not match with any of your lists, and that's cool. I'd like to hear from you guys what your top 10 PlayStation 4 RPGs are. But for now, this is going to be just my list and my list alone as of 2021. With that said, there's also a lot of RPGs I have yet to play for the PS4, which I hopefully plan to play in the future. We'll see if I get there. I should. And lastly, I want to say that a lot of these games are on different platforms as well. You know, Switch, Xbox One, etc. So I played all these on the PS4. They played on the PS4 and are what I have chosen for my top 10. So let's get to it. Number 10 is Fallout 4. Had a lot of fun with this one. Definitely not my favorite Fallout game because I still prefer the third one and definitely prefer New Vegas to this one. But it is still a great entry in the Fallout series. Had a lot of fun. Had enough fun to even platinum this game. Most of you know plenty about Fallout, your typical Bethesda first-person RPG. You know, you got these along with the Elder Scrolls series as well. Post-apocalyptic Boston area, so it's a lot of fun in there. I liked visiting the sites and different things in Boston because I've been there myself. So had a lot of fun with it, but I thought the story was a little lacking in this one compared to the others, but still a great entry. Number 9 is Cosmic Star Heroine. I waited a while to play this one as I saw that Limited Run was going to release it, so I went ahead and picked up a copy as I heard good things about this. Very, very small development company who made this, Zeboyd Games. And it is a callback to RPGs of old, like in your 16-bit, 32-bit era. So it's a lot of fun. It's a good story, likable characters, especially the main character, Alyssa. So you go through, it's a sci-fi game. It reminds me of kind of like the Phantasy Star games from the Genesis. But it's a very solid game, good battle system, and actually very good music. So number 9, Cosmic Star Heroine. Number 8 is Battle Chasers Night War. This was a game I really looked forward to. I love the artwork, the music is fantastic, turn-based battles are a lot of fun. This was a pleasant surprise. I really had a lot of fun with Battle Chasers Night War, and it was really cool. I forgot the guy who developed this, but I think he did a Kickstarter or something with it. Man, this is a beautiful game. A lot of hand-drawn comic book style art. It's really good. It's a fun game. I think there's a little bit of too much random encounters, if I remember correctly, but it's still a very fun story and a great game to play through. Number 7, 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim from Vanillaware and Atlas. I'm a pretty decent fan of Vanillaware games. You know, they're usually your side-scrolling kind of RPG-ish, action RPG-ish games like Muramasa, Odin Sphere, games like that. And Dragon's Crown, the RPG beat-em-up. So this one was a lot of fun. It's a lot of visual novel, and it's a lot of almost real-time strategy battles, RTS battles. So it's got a great story and a great unique way to tell a story with these 13 characters that you can pick and choose from to hear pieces of their story. And mixed in between, you can go and do simulation battles over different parts of Japan. It's a lot of fun. The battle doesn't look cool by any means, the way it's represented with just, kind of some shapes on a map, but it's got a really good tactical funness to it. And you can level up each of your individual characters and build them up the way you want to improve them during the combat operations. But this game really shines in its storytelling. It's really unique time travel story. A lot of fun and very beautiful. Number 6 is Final Fantasy VII Remake. This was a pleasant surprise. I wasn't expecting a lot out of this one, but it really tugged on the heartstrings pretty good. I had a lot of fun with it, a lot of callbacks, and definitely really matches fairly well with the original release back in the 90s. There are some things that changed, and to tell you that this is actually a alternate storyline story. So it's a lot of fun. The characters are very, very well written, and I like how they kind of drawn out the Midgar sections of Final Fantasy VII. I enjoyed learning more about the other characters, about the Avalanche characters, learning a little bit more about Tifa and Aeris and Barret. It was a lot of fun. The music was fantastic. They took an already favorite soundtrack and made it even better. It was a lot of fun. It was a good visit. I personally didn't care for the ending boss fight, but I digress. That is what it is. I look forward to playing some more of the remake when it comes out. Number 5 is Dragon Quest XI, Echoes of an Elusive Age. This was a lot of fun. As a matter of fact, this made one of my Game of the Years back when it came out. Really liked the characters here, liked the voice acting, loved the artwork. It was beautiful for something that was so cartoony, if you will. It was bright and vibrant, and the world was just so much fun. The really only downfall, especially of this original release, was the soundtrack. Not enough tracks, so you got to hear a lot of music over and over again. But I believe they fixed that in the re-release, the S version or whatever it is, which recently came out for the PS4, but it was on the Switch as well. So great story, and it's pretty long. I'll put you in for that one. This one's quite the epic to get through. Once you beat the game, you're not done. You got a prologue that you definitely have to play through and get through that really ties this story together and makes it so good. What an enjoyment. What am I on now? I think I'm on number 4. That's right, number 4. I'm going to give to Yakuza Like a Dragon. Wow, what a surprise this was. So fun. I had so much fun with this. I loved the voice acting in this game, because that's kind of the thing that kind of turned me off from the other Yakuza games is the subtitles for, the Japanese tracks. I don't know, it just kind of drags on for me, and that's not to take a shot at anybody who enjoys subtitles with Japanese voice acting. If that's your thing, that's your thing. I get it. But this one was done really well with these English voice actors. I recognize a lot of them from other Atlas titles, so this was so much fun to go on a big journey with Ichiban, the main character, and what a fantastic character that is. He is a real good guy, excellent supporting cast, really cool story. Wow, I just had a lot of fun with this, turning into a turn-based JRPG, which was a lot of fun, a lot of callbacks to Dragon Quest because the main character loved it. If you haven't tried Like a Dragon, you have to. This is such an enjoyment. Number 3. I had to chalk it up into a series, and if you know me, I'm pretty sure you know what this is going to be. And that's going to be The Legend of Heroes, Trails of Cold Steel. I'm going to go ahead and lump the whole series because it's one continuing story. And this is quite the epic to get through. when you're talking 100-hour RPGs per game in 4 games, there's a lot to get through. There are some slow parts, but overall it's pretty well put together. Lots of great character development. Through the entire series, these characters continue to grow and introduce even some newer characters halfway through, like the new Class 7 here in the 3rd title. So, man, I talk about this series enough. I'm sure you guys know a lot about it as well. It's so much fun to experience this huge political giant story of a game. The characters are great. I think I've already said that enough. And of course, from a Falcom game, you cannot go wrong with an excellent soundtrack from this series. So number 3 is going to go to the Trails of Cold Steel series. Number 2 comes to a game that I've played for many years with a lot of my buddies and had a blast doing it, and it's such a great game, and I suggest it to anybody. And that's Divinity Original Sin 2. This is such a fantastic game, guys. It's a real strict strategy RPG, and it's really hard. Tooth and nail, this will really get you going. It's probably one of the best video game soundtracks I've ever heard. The combat is so well put together. It really plays well to the elements of the world. Like if you shoot an oil barrel, knock out oil, and then throw some fire on it, it's going to set everything on fire. And then if you extinguish that fire, it'll put up steam clouds, which make it hard to see things. It's really, really well thought together. I've been playing the first one, and you see a lot of what they were building on. That game was great, but this one's so much better. It's a really cool story, great voice acting, a lot of fun open worlds to go through. You got to be careful though, because you will die very quickly if you're not careful. And it's got even hard difficulty modes, the kind where if you die, your save gets deleted. If you want to go down that road, I did once. It was a good time. But number 2 is Divinity 2 Original Sin. And number 1 should come to no surprise to my subscribers, my buddies, whatnot. And it's going to go to Persona 5 Royal. I love this game. I will play it over and over again. I love the soundtrack. I love the characters. I love the world. I love how they go into the metaverse, palaces, everything. The side characters, all the confidants. This is such a well put together game. It came such a surprise because I was a huge fan of Persona 4 and got so excited when Persona 5 came out, played through it, and I was like, how could it get so much better than Persona 4? And for me, it did. Now, I know there's people out there who love Persona 4 or 3 more than this, and that's understandable. They got a different feel to each of these games. So, I can't gush enough about how good of a story this game is. And if you haven't played through it, I highly suggest it. So, my number 1 is Persona 5 Royal.